Delayed Gordie Howe Bridge finally breaks the ice.
It's an honor to have been the first to cross.
Members of the Howe family, the first to cross the billion-dollar span. A century-old icon meets a modern marvel.
I want the memory for them and me on the opening day.
A 1925 Model T rolls across the brand new Gordie Howe Bridge. And bridging the decades.
Everybody had a proposal. Everybody had an idea where the next crossing should be.
A 1990s vision becomes reality.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. Well, it took more than 3 decades to get here, but tonight, the Gordie Howe International Bridge is open for business, and the first vehicle to cross the family of the late, great Gordie Howe. CTV's Travis Fortnum takes us inside a historic first day. Travis, a long time coming.
Stefanie, the wait is over, and so is the watching from the sidelines. After years of construction, the barriers came down today, officially opening this crossing built to change the way people and products move between Windsor and Detroit. Before the Gordie Howe International Bridge opened to traffic, one car made a quiet, symbolic drive across.
It's an honor to have been the first to cross.
Inside were Gordie Howe, the grandson of Mr. Hockey, and his wife, Margaret, making the ceremonial first crossing around 10 to 10 Monday morning.
It feels like personally a memory that we will treasure, both of us, something that we'll be able to share with people, and feels like an honor to be a part of this.
The bridge was named for his grandfather in 2015. The Canadian-born Detroit Red Wings legend remembered as much for bringing Canadians and Americans together as he was for putting pucks in the net. Not far behind the Howes, the first official commercial truck, with Jim Pereira at the wheel.
To be able to just get it done was just an emotional release. And then it all hit while I was actually on the bridge.
Pereira once crossed the Ambassador Bridge as many as 7 times in a single day. He says the new direct route between Highway 401 and Interstate 75 should make the trip a whole lot simpler. The public started crossing shortly before noon, ending decades of planning and years of construction. Staff like Heather Grondin, who's been with the project since 2005, now seeing their hard work pay off.
I haven't started to cry yet today, but I'm sure it's going to come at some point.
Grondin calls it relief, joy, and a very long time coming. Now everyone else can see what all the fuss is about. The 6-lane crossing has a speed limit of 60 kilometers an hour, and drivers are being reminded eyes on the road, save the sightseeing for the passenger seat. The Howes say their first drive across was smooth, even if their car may have wanted a little more.
We were driving a Dodge Charger, which could have gone much faster than we were able to drive on the bridge, but yeah, very smooth.
The drive takes travelers up a curving approach through the towers and over the Detroit River. The lead architect says the design was meant to deliver a little drama.
They should feel a moment of magic, I think. That's quite important.
Pedestrians and cyclists get their turn when the multi-use path opens August 5th. For the Howes, the first drive was less about bragging rights and more about the people who spent years getting the bridge to this point.
I think what has been the most special thing about today is like seeing the faces of the people who have worked on this project for upwards of 20 years.
A bridge bearing a family name, now carrying its first generation of travelers. And let me share a little bit of a fun fact with you. Today's firsts actually come with a little bit of an asterisk. Last September, a truck driver coming from the United States somehow found his way on to the Gordie Howe International Bridge, which was very closed at the time. And it wasn't until he got to this side of the bridge that CBSA was actually able to turn him around. And now all of us can legally cross the Gordie Howe International Bridge. Just don't forget your passport and your travel documents. Stefanie.
Yes, that was an unexpected story when it first came out. Thank you for this, Travis. Now, another one of the first cars to make the trip today wasn't brand new, though. It was more than a century old. Robert Lothian joined me now. And Robert, a 1925 Ford Model T rolled across the multi-billion-dollar span.
Yes, Stephanie, and this is a car that is older than any border crossing here in the Windsor-Detroit corridor. That's exactly why LaSalle's Marvin Diot wanted to make this historic trip alongside his grandsons, creating memories that are sure to last a lifetime. And fortunately for me, they had an extra seat. This historic ride will never be forgotten by Marvin Diot or his grandsons, Micah and Camden.
Is it what you expected?
Yeah. Or even myself.
I just thought it was cooler to, whenever the bridge opened, to be able to take my dad's car with the grandkids across the bridge and back.
In the first hour of the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge, decades-old rubber hit brand new road. Diot driving his family's more than century-old vehicle over the new crossing.
I want the memory for them and me on the opening day.
Talk of this monumental trip has been years in the making.
We've been hearing about it for 2-3 years at least, and we've been pretty excited for it.
And the plans had his grandsons thinking,
an old car would be nice to go be one of the first people to go across the bridge so we can have that memory for years.
The Ford Model T was one of the first affordable automobiles to hit the American market. This one, built in Michigan, has been around longer than any Windsor-Detroit border crossing.
Now, with me having it, I'm keeping Dad's life alive and memory alive, or whatever. It's all very, very good for me.
And even as we travel up the bridge, friendly honking is no surprise.
They must think it's a beautiful car and that it's obviously really old, so.
And you was talking about honking, there was another one just there.
And even after a little car trouble, this trip, even if brief, was a piece of history to never forget. For Marvin, his grandsons, and even me. What were your thoughts?
Oh, I guess my word's always fantastic. It's absolutely great. It's I'll have smiles for days just for doing it.
Now, it's probably fair to assume that Marvin's is the first Model T to make the trip over the Gordie Howe International Bridge. He says it's probably also the vehicle's last trip over it, too, but adds that he'll never say never. Stephanie.
Okay, what was it like for you to be able to cross?
Stephanie, I think it would have been really cool just with the trip alone. To do it in this car was amazing, though. And I mean, the sights, to get to see everything finally completed after all these years, it's a spectacle.
Okay, thank you so much, Robert. And we have these stories and so much more in a special segment on our website dedicated to, of course, the Gordie Howe International Bridge. You can find it all at ctvnewswindsor.ca. CTV meteorologist Julie Atchison joining us now for a first look at the weather. Julie, quite muggy out there.
Absolutely. High humidity, humidex feeling close to 40 this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms are bubbling up in advance of a front, and a severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for Essex County, Chatham, Kent, and Sarnia, Lambton. Now, we have had some severe weather move through Lambton County, the eastern part of the county, over the last hour or so. We have a few stray showers that are moving into Essex. Temperature has come down to about 29 degrees, but over the next couple of hours will stay very warm. Scattered showers and thunderstorms possible through the evening. The main threats will be torrential downpours. We could see 20 to 30 millimeters of rainfall. Not everyone in Essex will see the thunderstorms because as they push through, they're in advance of this front, so they're not aligning nicely. I like to see them come through quite nicely, but they're just popping up in advance of this frontal system. Temperature will be at 20 degrees by midnight. I'll have all your forecast details coming up.
One person is dead, another injured following a two-vehicle crash in Chatham, Kent. Police say the crash happened early Sunday morning on Queen's Line between Bloomfield and Dillon Road. The drivers, a 46-year-old Tilbury man and a 57-year-old Chatham man, were sent to hospital. The 57-year-old was airlifted to London Health Sciences Centre, where he later passed. Another person is dead after a single-vehicle crash in Lakeshore early Saturday morning. OPP say the crash happened just before 4 a.m. on West Bill River Road near County Road 42. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators are asking anyone who saw the vehicle before the crash or has a dash cam or surveillance video to contact Essex County OPP. A 16-year-old is facing multiple charges after police say shots were fired at a South Windsor home. Officers were called to Sagebrush Street late Thursday, where they say several rounds struck the front window and a basement wall. Several children were inside the home at the time, but thankfully no one was hurt. Police say the shots were fired from a stolen black Cadillac SUV, which was later recovered with ammunition inside. The teen suspect was arrested and is also facing drug-related charges after police see suspected crystal methamphetamine. After 350 days on the picket line, the lockout at Titan Tool and Die has ended. A severance agreement has been reached for the company's unionized workers. Unifor Local 195 President Emil Nabout says workers will receive the severance pay they are entitled to. The company has no plans to resume operations, an outcome Nabout says is not what the union had hoped for. 27 employees were considered active workers when the lockout began. More than 30 others had previously been laid off and will also receive severance. Nabout says more than 60% of the affected workers have since found new jobs.
Throughout this labor dispute, our local union have an action center where we updated people's resume. We have a contact with many employers in the city of Windsor, and we have already identified a number of the job for our member, thanks to many of the employers in the city of Windsor who make a priority to hire our member from Titan Tool.
A funding request to add 12 emergency beds at the Welcome Center has sparked a debate over whether the city's shelter system really has enough space. Today, council has approved $60,000 in emergency funding. The shelter originally requested more than $192,000 to add and staff 12 beds. Council approved a smaller amount to maintain the extra capacity until the 2027 budget is finalized. The long-term cost will then be considered during those budget deliberations.
And we have an opportunity in the context of a $1 billion budget to take 0.0006% and say we're going to bridge something and try to work towards something better than what we have currently. I don't think that that's a big ask.
Public health officials across southwestern Ontario are raising concerns about growing household food insecurity as more families struggle to afford basic needs. New data shows that in 2024, 1 in 4 households experienced food insecurity, meaning they did not have reliable access to enough food because of financial challenges. Rising household and living costs are forcing many people to make difficult choices between paying for rent, buying groceries, and covering essential expenses like medications. Public Health Unit says the issue is rooted in inadequate income and are calling for stronger supports, including increased social assistance rates, improved income benefits, and policies to reduce housing and living costs. Now, this takes us to our question of the day. Have rising costs forced you to cut back on groceries in the past year? Yes or no? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Last week, we asked if you go out of your way to buy Canadian products. Out of almost 2,000 votes, 85% say yes. It took decades of planning and determination to open the Gordie Howe Bridge. Still ahead on Windsor's News Leader, we take a look back at that entire journey. And later, Canada's blood supply is dropping and fast. Why officials are urging donors to book an appointment now. For almost 3 decades, a vision has been taking shape between two countries. What started as conversations in the late 1990s has now transformed into reality and the opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge. CTV's Michelle Molesky has been digging deep into our archives and reliving the journey that brought us to where we are today. Michelle.
Yeah, Stephanie, it may be hard to imagine, but this whole idea started 30 years ago with a simple motto: the border shouldn't be a burden. A lot happened over those 25 plus years. So here's my attempt at consolidating more than 3 decades of news into 13 minutes.
Windsor's skyline is forever changed with the Gordie Howe International Bridge.
There were heated arguments. I mean, there was yelling at different points in time.
Windsor did what Windsor had to do.
What really came to bear was reading the fine print of the Michigan Constitution.
Those conversations started in the late 90s.
As the Detroit-Windsor corridor gained in popularity, so too did the spin-off burden.
For years, we've had this issue of Huron line crossing our community and really causing this massive divide.
All of the trucks barreling towards a privately owned bridge with intentions to expand.
I had a resident at that point in time said, well, why don't we fight for a new public crossing? And that's where it really started, was at that moment.
And then 9/11 happened.
Bewildered and upset Americans and Canadians used to day trips and easy border access were suddenly sent scrambling for home. The lineup started within hours of the New York and Washington, D.C. tragedies.
I came over to pick my cousin up from the train, and downtown Detroit is absolute chaos.
Even though the border was closed for less than 5 hours, it was far from business as usual for days.
This is what it's like for 8 square city blocks around the tunnel. Complete gridlock. The border is open, but because they're searching every single car as they go through, it's literally taking hours for people to get across the border.
When 9/11 took place, it really showed the vulnerability more than ever before.
Post 9/11, it became, no, we need redundancy. Let the games begin.
The starting line was 1 year later.
If trade is the lifeblood of the Canadian economy, then the Windsor Gateway is the heart that keep it pumping.
Fueled by the $600 million Border Infrastructure Fund to find short and long-term solutions for Windsor-Detroit.
There is no time to waste, because whether you travel across the bridge or through the tunnel, this is the busiest transportation corridor between Canada and the United States of America.
That funding paid for the creation of the Border Transportation Partnership, made up of the upper levels of government on both sides of the border.
Marilyn Woodison has lived near the bridge her entire life. She says without local representation, the committee will fall short of its expectations.
We're the ones that are living here. We're the ones putting up with the trucks. We're the ones putting up with the environment, so we have to have input into it.
It was that partnership which launched the Detroit River International Crossing Study.
The project will result in identification of a new freeway system connecting Highway 401 to the interstate system in the U.S. Crossing alternatives from Grosse Ile to Peche Island will be considered.
Everybody had a proposal. Everybody had an idea where the next crossing should be, and everybody was trying to position themselves as being the location of choice for the next crossing.
Included was the so-called Jobs Tunnel, formerly known as the Detroit River Tunnel Partnership. It would have placed trucks on the rail line which goes under the Detroit River. Proponents said it could have cut Huron Church traffic in half.
And that will result in something like 75 million hours of delay savings for trucks.
And then this proposal, twinning the Ambassador Bridge, a project the Maroon family has been working on for decades.
Since 1999, we've been buying property. Since 1999, we enlarged the plaza in Detroit, enlarged the plaza in Windsor.
Both were vetoed early on.
We fought off Omer's pension fund, being the Jobs Tunnel, they called it, that was going to ram it south through South Windsor. We fought off the Ambassador Bridge for twinning, despite all the political influence.
Over 6 years, Drick hosted hundreds of public meetings before landing on...
Somewhere in this highlighted area, we will develop a new crossing option.
Choosing to place the bridge on the west end.
And so the work began of how we bring the 401 right through our city, and in what manner that doesn't disconnect us, but actually does good things for the city.
The provincial government was adamant. They wanted to put trucks on EC Road. There was a bureaucrat and basically said to me, I don't know what you're complaining about. We live in Toronto and we've got trucks and cars that run by our residents every single day. And I said to him, well, that's the problem. You don't understand, right? There's an opportunity for a better solution here.
Windsor retained its own consultant, Sam Gridlock Schwartz, to find a better solution.
And that did cause some of the delays where it was tough to get compliance and tough to get everybody on the same page.
The biggest thing about this was the united community on the project, and that made it a juggernaut.
During that battle, work was ongoing in both Ontario and Michigan to get the necessary environmental assessments. Those came through in January 2009.
We still require some other permits under the International Bridges and Tunnels Act in Canada. In the United States, they require a presidential permit.
All the while, Ontario and Windsor were battling over the access road.
This road's going ahead. The new border crossing will go ahead. It is not the road to nowhere. It is the road to the future, and no one will stop us from that.
Residents fought for and ultimately won for an access highway to go around the bottom of the city, with traffic below grade in a patchwork of tunnels.
Unfortunately, it was through the middle of my riding, so I had to go door to door to people whose homes we might take or not through that whole process. So it wasn't fun.
It would take more than 2 years to purchase or expropriate the properties needed for construction to begin on what was called the Windsor-Essex Parkway. Meanwhile, in Michigan,
I ran as one tough nerd.
Rick Snyder campaigned on and spent much of his time as Michigan governor extolling the value of a second bridge.
In January of 2011, I presented the concept of let's build this bridge. Obviously, the strong reason to do it is it was about more commerce, more enterprise, more jobs, better prosperity.
By the following summer, Snyder and then Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper announced a major milestone.
We've reached an agreement to build the long-awaited Detroit River International Crossing.
The Canadian government has offered to front Michigan's $550 million share of the project. Costs will then be recouped from toll revenues.
That's what partnership is really all about. Stepping up to help someone because we've gone through many difficult years. We weren't in a position to do this.
Less than a year later, the Barack Obama White House backed the Michigan-approved plan, inking the presidential permit.
12,000 direct jobs and 31,000 more indirect.
But which country will get those jobs? Some of that could depend on which side of the border the private sector partner that will finance, build, and operate the bridge comes from.
We're going to be able to bid the best way we can, and I expect that we'll get some jobs on our side. But we're going to leave it open to the market and have the best bidders for the best project.
Property acquisition and some expropriation carried on for years on both sides of the border.
People's homes, it was people's businesses. In the main, people were very happy. There would always be some that didn't feel they got enough.
There was a lot of political support sort of against the bridge.
But Snyder and Canadian leaders pressed on until May 14th, 2015. With no preamble and little fanfare, Prime Minister Stephen Harper unveils the name of our third border crossing.
Somebody who is obviously a legend in Canada.
When I told my dad that the bridge would be named in his honor, he said, "That sounds pretty good to me."
So-called early works were just getting started in 2015, when later that same year, in November, the newly named Herb Gray Parkway opened to traffic. Emergency personnel are also on the parkway today.
Driving the corridor and getting familiar with the corridor before it opens up.
All that's left are finishing touches.
It's like having a daughter married or something, because you've been, born to this job and so dedicated to it for all these years.
Traffic ran under the parkway tunnels for nearly 3 years before the official blessing and start of construction on the bridge itself.
The Windsor-Detroit corridor facilitates almost a quarter of all trade between Canada and the U.S., with approximately 7,000 commercial vehicles crossing here every single day.
By 2018, the project had a price tag of just under $6 billion and was projected to open in 2023 at the earliest.
In my opinion, too long, because it was supposed to be built about 10 years earlier.
Initially, bridge reps said the pandemic wouldn't slow construction or the opening date. But that message changed by 2023.
The projected completion date is November 2024, but Grondin says they're still discussing the schedule and opening timeline.
Between ensuring that we're meeting our high quality standards, ensuring that everyone goes home safely, and managing the impacts of the schedule of the pandemic, there may be some shifts in the schedule.
The schedule got pushed back even further in January 2024, and the cost went up.
We are very confident that we'll be able to deliver it in the end of 2025.
The additional 10 months of work means additional costs, with the final contract value ballooning from 5.7 billion Canadian dollars to 6.4 billion.
A big number for a big year on the project.
David Henderson, the CEO of contractor Bridging North America, says there's a collective sigh of relief as the two sides of the bridge came together, a site roughly 20 years in the making.
Well, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of high fives going on each and every day now as we get closer to the permanent beam installation.
Crews worked on both sides of the border for 6 years. Until 2024, when iron workers placed the first beam permanently linking Windsor to Detroit. At the time, officials said there was still a year of work left to do on the bridge. Through the summer and then the fall of 2025, officials kept pushing the finish line further away into 2026, citing testing of lights and operating systems. Then U.S. President Donald Trump threw a curveball. In a now infamous social media post, U.S. President Donald Trump says he won't let it open unless America is, quote, fully compensated.
We've been hearing some concerns, and again, we have the existing Ambassador Bridge where the U.S. has more of a say.
4 months later, and with just 7 days left in spring 2026, the welcome news of a pending ribbon cutting.
I'm excited that Friday looks like it's a day that this project is going to move forward in a material way.
Just 2 days later, however, all that excitement deflated.
We were expecting it to open, sooner.
The CEO of the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority said Canada canceled the event and agreed to push the opening of the bridge as both countries settled, quote, outstanding issues. Exactly 1 month later, Trump took to social media once again, declaring the bridge could open because of a reworked bridge agreement.
The word net does a lot of work in this. We are sharing after Canada is paid back.
And then one final curveball. Trump slapped more tariffs on Canada, so the country retaliated and canceled the joint ribbon cutting, choosing instead to have a Canada-only official launch of the bridge.
Out there, a gorgeous shot of both the Ambassador and Gordie Howe Bridge. Julie joins me again for an extended look at the forecast. Julie.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. It was humid across the area. Our weather story today, it felt close to a 40. The forecast high in the upper 20s, and we made it to 30 degrees. So 38's the record, and that was set back in 1941. Now, it's the Humidex, as I mentioned, right now still feeling like the mid-30s in Essex County. We do have scattered showers and thunderstorms rumbling through southern Ontario, and that will continue through the evening. Now, what I'll be watching tonight is if these storms really storm themselves out ahead of this boundary. So that tends to happen. We lose all of the instability with some rainfall and cloud cover that comes in out ahead of this boundary. Now, we will leave in the risk for scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight. And if we get under one of these storms, there is the potential for about 50 millimeters of rainfall. So there's a lot of moisture to tap into, of course, with those high humidex, lots of moisture ahead of this system. Winds will be shifting to the north tomorrow, and that will be ushering in some cooler conditions. Now, it looks like as things redevelop through the later evening in and around Sarnia and Chatham, you could see a thunderstorm, but Essex County really on the fringe of all of this. That doesn't mean we won't pick up a thunderstorm. However, forecast models over the past couple of hours have been indicating the storms just off to the east and just off to the west of us. Across the country, I wanted to point out this huge heat dome in the southern U.S. and on the periphery of that. Heat warnings are in effect right across the southern prairie provinces tonight. As we get into northwestern Ontario, 24 degrees, so temperatures have dropped a bit with the recent scattered showers and thunderstorms. Overnight, still staying quite humid and warm. Muggy conditions expected. Essex County will dip down between 19 and about 21 degrees. Heading into tomorrow, we will look for the chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms. These are the storms I was mentioning that will be rumbling their way through. So we'll have one come through tonight. Again, there is the potential for strong wind gusts, damaging wind gusts, and torrential downpours. But I'm not expecting rounds of thunderstorms to move through the area. Then tomorrow, skies will be mainly cloudy in the morning with about a 40% chance of showers, and we could pick up a few very spotty showers in the afternoon. But you can see the clear conditions across Essex County and Chatham, Kent, so that we're going to go with a mix of sun and cloud and just a 40% chance of showers. So your forecast through the day tomorrow, mainly cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms, northwest winds, and the winds picking up in the afternoon. That will help dry us out and drop our humidity levels. Our Enercare forecast heading into Wednesday, mainly sunny and 26. Sunshine on Thursday and 29 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud on Friday. Chance of nighttime showers Saturday, but the holiday weekend is looking good. Daytime highs from 26 to 29 degrees. So the risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms will continue as we push through the evening and into tonight. Winds turn northerly tomorrow. That'll start to dry us out, and we're back to sunshine by Wednesday.
A new study finds 1 in 10 emergency room physicians is leaving due to burnout. The findings are part of a new study in the Canadian Medical Association Journal and based on a 2025 nationwide survey of hundreds of emergency medicine doctors. Researchers say the leading theme of the survey is, quote, a broken healthcare system, which is pushing doctors to the brink. Canadians are being urged to book a blood donation as the country's blood supply drops at an unusually fast pace. Canadian Blood Services says inventories have fallen about 20% over the past 6 weeks after thousands of fewer donation appointments than expected were booked each week. Officials say they want to rebuild supplies before the shortages reach hospitals, especially with the August long weekend approaching. The organization says it normally needs up to 19,000 appointments per week to keep inventories stable, but has been falling short by as many as 2,000 appointments weekly. What's puzzling is there's no clear reason why. Every blood type is needed, with O negative remaining especially critical because it can be used in emergencies for almost any patient. And a Windsor man who fought his way back from leukemia is facing another battle. Now he's hoping to find a stem cell donor who could help save his life. CTV's Sanjay Maru has a story.
Bring it in. I was working, but I feel tired, fatigued, you know. I couldn't talk, I couldn't breathe, and I just fainted for a little bit, not much. The ambulance came and picked me up. 2 days later, they come up, they say, your cancer is back again.
He went in remission a week ago. He cannot undergo stem cell transplant without being on remission. Here's the denial letter from Blue Cross that my husband still pays for it. So I will be appealing it because they're saying his cancer relapsed. Well, it's a different type of cancer, different type of leukemia. 3 years ago, the critical benefits were $30,000. If you're admitted in the hospital, you can't go to work. So they give you a check for your expenses. They help you with that. This time they denied it. They said it's relapse.
So $30,000 is what you would have expected the
from
second
them.
time.
Yeah.
And they're saying zero.
Yeah. We're talking about bone marrow stem cell transplant. Please donate.
We're here to help one of our teammates. You know, when one of your teammates needs some help, that's what family comes together, right? And really, we're all one big family here at Sobeys in St. Clair Beach.
I'm just a part-timer here, but you know, everybody here, we are like brothers and sisters.
We are grateful for Sobeys because they've been more than a family. They're not just an employer, they're a family. They stood by us.
The American Heart Association is suggesting that coffee enjoyers can probably drink more than they already do. New research has found up to 5 cups of black coffee with around 400 milligrams of caffeine is safe for most adults. The research found drinking 2 to 4 cups of coffee a day was tied to a lower risk of heart disease, heart failure, and stroke. However, it also found that for people with healthy blood pressure, drinking between 1 and 3 cups a day was associated with an increased risk of developing high blood pressure. Still ahead, the Gordie Howe International Bridge through the lens of a Windsor photographer before the first vehicles crossed. A Windsor photographer has spent months documenting the Gordie Howe International Bridge in a way few people have seen it before. His images capture a rare moment in the crossing's history before traffic began rolling across it.
I was just about to go for a walk, and I think like everyone else, we're waiting for the Gordie Howe Bridge to open up, and I stepped out of the house and it was like really calm. So I turn around, go inside, grab my tripod, grab my backpack with all my camera equipment. It ended up being a really calm night that I was able to start this collection of Gordie Howe photographs. On the one image, I must have spent over 7 hours total just to get it right. Right now, in this day, we've kind of presented with this unique opportunity, because how often do they actually build structures like a brand new bridge? I think with the stop and go, the bridge opening, you kind of get let down. But I think overall, I think there's a lot of excitement right now because it's a unique opportunity. It's something new.
And there's hope in Sarnia. The Gordie Howe's opening will ease congestion on Highway 402 and the Blue Water Bridge. As CTV's Brian Bicknell reports, in recent years, it's become the busiest commercial crossing in the country.
It's the Highway 402 backup that truck drivers traveling from Ontario into Michigan over the Blue Water Bridge at Sarnia Point Edward know all too well.
Last 2 years we are waiting almost someday 3 hours to cross the bridge.
But relief is on the way for what has become the busiest commercial border crossing between Canada and the U.S. According to BorderRoute.com, the Blue Water Bridge recorded 2.1 million commercial crossings in 2025, edging out the 1.9 million at the Windsor-Detroit Ambassador Bridge. Sarnia Mayor Mike Bradley says the opening of the Gordie Howe will loosen the bottleneck, but it won't happen overnight.
In Sarnia, it probably means a decrease in traffic, and that's not a bad thing. How much that decrease is going to be, we can't estimate. It's going to take 6 months or so to see. But we've had numerous issues here with the truck traffic, so in some ways this is welcome. It'll take some of the pressure off here.
And with fewer highway backups, area residents are hoping truck drivers will be less inclined to cut through the city to bypass the bottleneck.
I think people get a little bit nervous with it because it plugs up the core and can cause accidents.
It's harder for people in cars to get where they want to go if the trucks are, backed up on the roads too, like in town.
So until today, this was the newest international border crossing in Ontario, the second span of the Blue Water Bridge on the south side heading east into Canada. It opened in 1997, about 6 decades after the original Blue Water Bridge. Meantime, the new bridge on the block, the Gordie Howe, opens to traffic on Monday, giving all drivers more options.
Yeah, if we have the both options open, we have a crossing really quick.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News, Sarnia.
Coming up, we have What's Happening Now with Kate Otterbein. So, Kate, what do you have for us tonight?
Yeah, plenty of people were interested in being among the first to cross the Gordie Howe Bridge today. When we return, we'll show you someone who made sure to document their trip.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Join us for Run for Rocky on Saturday, August the 8th. Windsor, Essex most welcoming run and walk event. Register today at runforrocky.com. See you next time on Our Community.
Kate Otterbein with us again. Kate, Happening Now is one of my favorite segments. Here's the reason why. How often do you get to witness the opening of a brand new border crossing? So exciting.
Very exciting, and not very often, to answer your questions. Thousands couldn't wait to be among the first to cross, including Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. She got behind the wheel of a Michigan-built Ford Mustang to mark the official opening. She says bridges bring people together and strengthens the economy.
I love driving. I'm a Michigander, so, you know, getting in my own vehicle and taking off is part of my identity, and it's about freedom and independence.
We have an endless number of Gordie Howe Bridge stories online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Don't we ever? Okay. And over in Chatham, police are reporting a fall in crime last year. That's good to hear.
Very good to hear for the area. Now, we are seeing a total of, according to the Severity Crime Index, overall crime is down 11.9% from 2024. Violent crime is down 5.9%, and nonviolent crime fell by 14.4%. Check out the full article for more information. And in our social spotlight tonight, some wild videos being shared out of New Jersey. Before you watch, we would like to note that nobody was hurt. Now, keep watching this semi-truck that is coming towards the camera. It is hauling a forklift and gets caught on overhead power lines, ripping the hydro pole out of the ground. This would be such a scary incident to be part of. I can tell by your face, Stefanie. But luckily, nobody was hurt, and somehow no vehicles were damaged either. Like, how crazy?
It is. So many people overuse the oh my gosh, OMG, and that this definitely is an OMG moment. Definitely scary. Thankfully, everyone, like you said, is okay. And that's why you really have to be a defensive driver, too. Some people are always like, I'm great at driving this and that, but you never know what's going to happen around you when you're driving.
For sure, which is terrifying, but, you know, whatever.
Okay, Kate, and Happening Now, thank you so much. When we return, the stuffed donkey that became an internet sensation after BC Ferries gave him the adventure of a lifetime. Julie joins us one last time with her final look at the weather tonight. Julie.
Thanks so much, Stefanie. Our EnerCare forecast over the next 7 will bring the chance of showers as we head through your Tuesday, but some peaks of sunshine as well. 27 degrees, 26 on Wednesday, mainly sunny, full sunshine on Thursday, and 28 daytime highs over the next 7, between 26 and 29 degrees. That is right where we should be for this time of year. We should get through the weekend dry with the exception of Saturday night. We could see a few showers develop, but through the day expecting mainly cloudy with sunny breaks both Saturday and Sunday. So still the risk for a few spotty showers as we head into your Tuesday. Stefanie?
Okay, thank you, Julie. Now, sometimes the smallest passengers have the biggest adventures. CNN's Jeremy Roth shows us how one lost stuffed donkey became the star of a heartwarming BC Ferries journey.
Everyone knows about the Odyssey featuring a horse on the high seas, but not everyone knows about the one featuring a donkey. A ferry company in British Columbia took a tiny stuffed animal on a silly seafaring adventure after it was left behind by a pint-sized passenger. The company, BC Ferries, took to social media to report the lost stuffy, which they nicknamed Churro the Burro, assuring its owner that it was being well looked after, taking in the sights, schmoozing with fellow fluffy friends, and even enjoying some light reading. But it wasn't all high seas, hee-haws, and hijinks, though. Churro also put in work in the engine room and on the bridge, helping keep watch with the crew. Eventually, the Burro's 5-year-old owner was located thanks to social media word of mouth, and after a warm reunion, BC Ferries gave Churro's family the very same royal treatment the Dinky Donkey got. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching. For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca, and I'll be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11 o'clock.